Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening. It's good to see everybody. Well, I haven't seen anybody yet. Let me send out our message. All right. Yeah, we're going to be dealing with some stuff this evening, and I can't wait. It should be interesting. So as everyone comes on, hey, Wendy, how you doing, hon? Well, I know how you're doing. I just saw you a minute ago. But welcome. All right, as people join, hey, Lynn, how is my favorite niece? Oops, I shouldn't have said that, huh? Yikes, oops. But it is what it is, because other ones will have to get used to it. All right, please, no illicit comments, especially coming from my wife towards the moderator. That's inappropriate. Okay. Hey, Yasmin, how are you? Hope everyone is well. I think we're doing okay. All right. We're gonna, as you guys populate and we join and we get ready to get started, there's some things that I'm gonna ask you all to help me out this evening. Please, I need your help because I'm dealing with some stuff here that I think I'm gonna need your input on. All right. Yes, Rosie, that's my favorite niece. Yes, your favorite is always the one who is I don't know. Well, I'll leave it alone. Lindsay has been just a sweetheart her whole life. Hi, Les. All right, great. Let's continue. Okay, please go online and make sure you do all the necessary as far as posting your comments, letting us know what questions you might have. And I want to just make a couple of announcements. First of all, we're getting closer to our tour. And our first tour is going to be May 17th. I'm putting it out there. You're the first to hear this. And it's going to be right here in Atlanta, Georgia. So if you're in Atlanta, please come join us on May 17th. We're going to be starting with a big social media push, but we really need to start getting the word out there. So get ready. We're going to be starting with that. And our emphasis is going to be relationship, but from the perspective of bringing men to the forefront and in a rightful way, in a positive way, in a balanced manner, and thus bringing women in the fray with them, okay? So that is the idea, that is the approach, and we're excited about it. We're very excited about it. As other people come in, please give me your shout outs. Let me know that you're here, that you are where you're from, et cetera, et cetera. Everybody here, I know where you're from. So let me know where you're from if you're coming in and you have not signed in. And here's a challenge. If you've never, ever said anything during our live broadcast, tonight I want you to say something. If it's no more than a hello, hi, because I get a number of everybody who's on, and honestly, it's only a fraction of the people who are actually watching. So if you're actually there, hey Melanie, please come on and give some kind of input, especially for tonight. Now tonight, actually, you married people are going to have to help me out. I'm going to really need your help because, hi, Althea Ali from NYC. I know you didn't mean to rhyme. It just happened that time. Althea Ali from NYC. Hi. Awesome. For you married people, I'm going to ask you guys to give me a hand tonight to help me out. Because tonight's question is coming from a single male, a single male. And if you are a single female, then you chime in. If you are not, women, I need you guys to come in and chime in and please give your input, because I think tonight's going to be very beneficial for you as well, married or single. You're going to find some great benefit in tonight's discussion. Okay. And Wendy is putting up the information for the for what's going on May 17th. So we're excited about that. We're very excited about it. This is going to be revolutionary. This is going to be transformative, and I cannot wait to get in front of you guys. We're going to, hey parents, we're going to actually have some guests from the local area from here, and they're going to be presenting also some names you've heard of, some others you may have not heard of, but irrespective, it's going to be awesome. So get ready. All right, here's a question, and I need you guys to chime in on male, female, women, men especially. Here was more of a comment than anything, and the comment was, Pastor Cal, I've given up on dating. I have come to the conclusion that I will probably, this is a young man. I've come to the conclusion that I'm okay with living my life single. It's just too difficult. Now, I'm thinking, hey, well, you know what? That's an outlier. It's an outlier. I mean, for a guy to say that, I mean, come on. When I was growing up, oh my God, Allie E says, I agree. What? Allie E, you agree? That dating is too hard. So it's very interesting, because when I talked to men about it, I found out that no, Yasmin, he is not gay, and I think that's what you're asking. No, he's not. But the thing is that he's very frustrated, and we're going to talk about some of the reasons, because what I'm finding is that this is more of a trend among men, that a lot of men are giving up on the whole romantic idea of dating, finding a wife, getting married. Here's what's interesting. And I know I read you right. Oh, you didn't assume he was gay. I don't know. Maybe you asked me. I don't know if that's what you were asking or not. But is he? Okay. Right. Okay, Melanie. If he was gay, he'd have lots of options. Okay, I want to know his age. Here's what's interesting. A lot of men that we're finding who are having trouble and are pretty much frustrated and giving up, and I'm talking about men who I know in their 20s, who are very frustrated, all the way up to their 30s and late 30s. When it gets a little further than that, men seem to have a few more options. But what's interesting I'm finding is that men are very frustrated, and they're very frustrated with dating. And we want to talk about some of the reasons why that frustration exists. Are these reasons valid? Should they just get a grip? Just grow up. All right, is that the approach? Or do men, is it valid? Is it legit when they talk about how difficult it is out here? Now, I know when we talk to women, and women say dating is like a dadgum war. It's a battlefield. And the women that I know who we've talked to about dating, whether they're on the show or just other women that we've talked to in everyday life who's out there in the dating pool, they say this is an arduous task, an ordeal when it comes to trying to find a mate, trying to find someone that you can actually settle down with, who, number one, is financially secure, or someone who is emotionally mature, or someone who doesn't have a whole bunch of baby mamas. Trust me when I say the men feel the same way. The men feel the same way. Okay? And the question is, here, is he a desirable guy? What is his character or core values? Is he ambitious? Okay, let's talk about that. Thank you, Ted, for joining. Appreciate it. Let's talk about that. Is he desirable? What are his character or core values? Is he ambitious? Now, a lot of the men that I talk to, a lot of them are educated. A lot of them are quality, desirable, as one YouTuber said years ago, and he brought the term high value male. Some of these are high value men who are having trouble. I know of one gentleman now. He is doing very well. Actually, he is doing so well that he was making 7 figures. Easy, 7 figures. High up on the corporate ladder. Doing incredibly well. But still says this is the toughest thing he's ever had to go through. Now, is he ain't Denzel or Aaron Pierre. He ain't none of them. All right. But does he bring a good package to the table? Yes. Financially, emotionally, etc. he does. Yet he finds that this is very difficult because of what women want. Are y'all with me? I hope you are. So let's do some. Were his expectations realistic? Let's talk about it. What were his expectations? Expectations. In fact, let me ask you, what do you think men want? What do you think a man's expectations are in finding a mate? What does he want? Do you think a man wants a woman who's a boss? Just give me a hand up if you think yes. A woman who's financially successful. How many think that that's the number one thing that a man wants? Good evening, guest Higgins. How are you doing? How many think that that's fit, feminine, and agreeable? Fit, feminine, and agreeable. Okay, that's good. I don't know what they want. They not honest. You showing some. We're gonna talk about that. Maybe we need to have a counseling session. Rosie says TNA. Okay, I hear what you're saying. Excuse me. We're talking about men who want to settle down. I'm sorry, did I burp? We're talking about men who want to settle. Someone who has their own thing going. Yes, he wants her to bring something to the table. Okay, Kimberly says someone who has their own thing going. Kevin here says men want someone that loves them for who they are. Man, you are talking to me. Yes. Sheila, okay, whatever. Yes, he wants her to bring something financially to the table. How well do you know him? First of all, a lot of these men I do know well. Okay, because I've talked with them for years. Here's the deal. Men don't really care about your finances, whether or not you're bringing a lot of money to the table. Men on there, you can chime out. You can chime in if you want. Because men get a joy out of providing if they are in the position to provide. So that's not the number one. Many surveys have been done. What's the number one thing that men look for? It is not your financial prowess. It is not you bringing money to the table. You being a boss is for you. It's not for men. It's really not. Okay? And secondly, the number one thing, whenever I talk to men, the number one thing, it's not T and A, Rosie. Now, they want a little bit of T and a little bit of A, but that's not at the top. It's not at the top that they want this fine, bam, Megan the Stallion, which I will never understand because the stallion's a male horse. But regardless, Megan the Stallion, that ain't what she cool, but that is not at the top of their list. Okay? So let's talk about it. When they get what they want, they fumble it. Okay, we got some challenges going here, don't we? Who says this? Hold up. Let me read. Some say they want a go-getter though. Yes, some do say they want a go-getter. Let me tell you what that's all about, Shayla. What they want is somebody who can take care of themselves. I want that. Somebody who can take care of themselves. Not somebody who's going to be completely dependent. If I go down in the battle, if I fall down, if something happens to me, I want a wife, and I have one, who knows how to pick up the mantle and carry on. She knows how to handle herself. She can get out there and do it if she needs to. But I don't need her to take care of me financially. So yeah, they do want someone who can who's a go-getter. Ali E says, and when they get what they want, they fumble it. Okay. Okay. Need a little counseling. Hold on. I think men who are well established, yes, he wants her to bring something to the table. How well do you know him? Okay. I think men who are well established and good character are sometimes looking for a Hallie. Honey, don't make me disagree with you. Not necessarily. And when they get what they want, they fumble it. Some say they want to go get her. Okay. They ain't all looking for that. It's not that some men are not wanted. It's sometimes because they don't want the women who want them, possibly, and reverse. They want understanding. Come on, y'all talking now. Yeshua says, you just can't be broke as hell. She needs to be an asset. That's it. That's it. She can't be broke with babies and welfare and WIC. No one's looking for that. Okay? She's got a decent job. She can be an educator. She can be working in kindergarten, making $30,000, $40,000 a year. If that's your passion, baby, let's do this thing. That's all good. Men are not looking for that. I'm telling you, men, y'all better help me out here. Kimberly Curtis says, I heard that before. What about the men who complain but they're not emotionally mature? Okay, I don't know why you... Okay, let's talk about it. I'm trying to read everybody's. They say that, and when we take care of ourselves, we're too independent. Allie E., don't make me focus on you. When they say that, they say we're too independent. Listen, a man has nothing wrong. Man does not... I'm talking as a man. You have firsthand experience here. A man doesn't care about you being independent. A man wants you to be independent. Okay, we like it. Here's what we don't want. We don't mind you being a boss. We just don't want to be your employee. That's it. Men don't want to be the employee. Men don't want you to lord over them that you make more money. Men don't want you to lord over them that you got it going on and you ain't ish. Men don't want to hear all that. They don't want to hear it. And I don't think women want to hear it either. Nobody. Forget men and women. Nobody wants to hear that. Okay. Aren't they also looking for someone who can provide sanctuary from the world? Jesus Christ. Yeshua, not broke his... Yeah. Someone said in the back, a welfare mama can't get no love. Right. Yasmin, remember Claudine? I love that movie when she was on welfare and got amazing love. Welfare mamas at least can contribute food stamps. Okay, y'all going crazy now. You won't believe me, but I never did those things, and I'm single, and you don't want... Wow. And you don't want to know for how long. Okay. Now, let me hear from Ted. Okay? Got some testosterone. Heard from Kevin, Ted. Oh, a man's expectations, not always conducive to a healthy marriage. Men, a wise man should consider the benefits of the family and sacrifice himself for that purpose. That is what any leader does for the greater purpose. You will not get everything you want, but it's mission and purpose. Thank you. Men want support. Men want, as Leslie said, somebody who can be there when they need to be sheltered from the world. Men want but women want a safe place to land. Men are more heart-focused than you would imagine. They really are. Okay? We ain't just looking for a piece of tail. That's not what men want. No, it's more than that. And I think that what's happened is that social media, etc., has really skewed this. That's why, in a lot of relationships, a lot of arranged marriages find success because there are certain roles that people fulfill and people just focus in on those. But Teddy, you're absolutely true. They're not always, he said, a man's expectations, not always conducive to a healthy marriage. A wise man should consider the benefits of the family and say, yes, a man will sacrifice himself, okay? But he wants someone who's going to appreciate the sacrifice. Yeah. He wants someone who can appreciate the sacrifice. Do all men want that? No, men are always growing. Some men are screwed up. Yes, because they came from families who were screwed up. So all men are not perfect, we know that, right? Their mindset depends on their stage in life. Yep, I want someone that will have my back. Absolutely. Make me feel wanted. Absolutely. But here's something I want to share with you as we talk about this. I haven't even gotten into any of the statistics. Make me feel wanted. Whenever I hear someone says, I want a man, I don't need a man. Women, let me let you know something. When you tell a man you don't need him, but you just want him, you lost him. Men don't want to hear that crap because men want to be needed. There's nothing wrong. It does not diminish you to say you need a man. It does not diminish men to say they need a woman. There was a survey. It wasn't scientific, but there's a survey that I just saw recently on YouTube, I think, where they were going around asking women if they need men, and all categorically the women said no. These are people in their 20s. They're categorically no. When you ask men the same question, every man without hesitation said yes, absolutely. Men have no problem saying they need women. Women sometimes don't want to say they need a man. But I'm here to tell you that people need people. And if you really want to be in a relationship, you have to start rewiring how you think about that. There's nothing wrong with needing. Needing doesn't mean you're codependent. It's like I need my right hand. I absolutely need this. I used it just a few minutes ago to cook. Yeah, we need this. Well, I didn't cook, but I bought. We need it. I need my hands. I need my eyes. Right? But can I live without them? Absolutely. I'll learn. But it doesn't mean I don't need it. And I want you to start thinking that way when it comes to your relationships. Women, stop saying I don't need a man. It's okay to need him. It's perfectly okay. My wife needs me, and I'm saying that, and she on the line. I know she needs me because I need her. And it's not a needy thing, like a codependent thing. No. Because people who love you, people who care for you, you need them in your life. I think that once you can start at that point, you can build on it. Okay. Sacrifice to the right man will. Majority of these jokers won't appreciate anything. The right man will. The majority of these. Allie E. Now you've only posted negative comments. I'm gonna be straight with you now. Something has happened. Okay? Because everything you're saying is negative. All right? These jokers won't appreciate these jokers. There are good men out there, just like there are good women out there. But there are good men out there, okay? And a lot of men do appreciate great women. A lot of men do appreciate great women. Now, of course, there's some busters out there who don't. All right? But you're right. The right man will. But I've always said this. I've always believed this. That, for every Boaz, there needs to be a Naomi? All right? And for every Proverbs 31 woman, there needs to be a Proverbs 31 man. Okay? So let's stop giving each other these unrealistic expectations and saying, oh, you ain't nothing because you don't meet these expectations. No. I was on a podcast on Sirius just recently, and they were joking around and talking to one of the people saying, you know what, can you find her a man who's this, who's that? And I simply asked, I said, wait a minute, are you those things? Can you bring those things to a relationship? You want a man who's 6'3", but can you bring that same height of character? You want a man who makes six figures, but can you support a man so that he can make six figures? We have to understand balance. When he says, I need my man, you doggone straight. But if he was crazy, I don't know. Jesus, she just give and go. We need men that are willing to heal and grow. Yes, we all need each other. Thank you, Yasmin. We don't need consistent toxicity. I want to talk about that, but not on tonight. You ain't crazy and immature, though. There are great men and women out there, but the damaged ones make it seem hard. Yes, you're absolutely right. And let's talk about that for a second, because we all carry damage. We all carry baggage. We all do. And it's a painful thing. Let me just share this with you real quick. And I see that last one, Lynn. I'm going to get that. A recent Pew Research study found that 63% of men under 30 describe themselves as single, compared to 34% of women in the same age bracket. 64% of men under 30 consider themselves single. 34% of women in the same age bracket don't. Something is happening in our society when it comes to this disparity. Because I'm here to tell you that men are actually finding serious difficulty when it comes to when it comes to matching and mating. And there are some reasons for it. I'm going to hear some of your things. I'm going to read some more, but here are some of the things, some of the reasons. One is high financial costs. There are higher standards now. There are higher requirements. Don't take me to Cheesecake Factory. Don't take me to Olive Garden. You got to take me to Bacchanalia if you're in Atlanta. You got to take me to Ruth Chris if you're... No, I'm not spending no Ruth Chris money. And I just met you. Okay. Then there's the fear of commitment. Okay. A lot of times men want to lock it in. Women ain't ready. Because when a man knows he's ready to lock it in, he's looking to lock it in. All right. Sometimes people are looking for options. Sometimes they have to deal with past negative experiences. And it goes on and on and on. You know, these are some of the things that men have said, that the reason that they're not interested. And then the one thing that's really prominent is the hookup culture, because we through social media have created a hookup culture, and that honestly is having a very negative effect on people who are dating and people who are looking for one. Because hooking up is okay in your 20s. It ain't okay, but that's what people do. But when you get a little older, ain't nobody trying to hook up anymore. And then there's this disparity of the men as they get older. The women are not interested. And then the young women are dating the older men. When the men get a little older, they need older women because the older women now are looking for the younger men, and it's just a mess. Okay, let me read some of this. All right, because I left some of you guys. Okay, Lynn, I think a lot of single women have experienced toxic relationships. I tried to encourage my single friends, and she told me that I've been out of the loop a long time and don't really realize how hard it is in these streets. Yes. It is hard, but let me let you know something. People have been people for ages. The only difference now is that we have a proliferation of media that's just bombarding us, and we have pretty much just media overload, and we have created a hookup culture. That is the difference. But basically, people have the same needs, the same desires, okay, and the same problems. I'm 29 and it ain't easy. I believe you, Yasmin. That's why we're doing this app, because we're going to bring you some solutions. Do you think the dating scene becomes harder as women get older? Heck yeah. I hear that a lot and don't agree with that statement. I get annoyed when I hear it. I hear you, but it does become difficult, Kimberly. But I'm going to tell you something, and I'm teaching my daughter this, our daughter this. The right woman will find the right man. A woman who understands sensitivity, a woman who understands support, a woman who understands, his place and her place, who understands there's nothing wrong with roles in marriage, that you have equal value but different responsibilities. A man who understands, look, you will find somebody. So I agree on that side. If you know what's up, yeah. Are the men dating but just consider themselves single? Yeah, a lot of times, because men, especially under 30, you might get that. Mentoring manhood is so needed for men of all. Yes, it's so needed for men of all. And I'm going to encourage you to go and click on the tab. If you're a man, click on Mentoring Manhood in the app and sign up for our community. Please do that immediately. Right after this, sign up for the community, because we're about done. Ted says, a man absolutely needs a woman. I can only speak for me, not all men, of course. But the question is, can men lose themselves to add to what a woman needs? And moreover, can a woman sacrifice themselves to add to what women need? Or men, rather. I understand what you're saying. And what's the middle ground? A lot of gray areas. Okay. But we are mature enough to deal with these issues. Marriage ain't for punks. Uncle Cal. You're absolutely right. Okay, 100%. Yeah, I don't agree with the hookups either. Not at this stage of my life. Moral standards have gone down. You're absolutely right. Wendy says these people who are looking for marriage need to ask if the other people is marriage minded even before they go into a date. And I'm going to encourage you guys, if you're single, here's something that you're going to have to do. You're going to have to start thinking about this. What is my purpose in dating? What is my purpose for being out here in these streets? Is my purpose out here just to check off and find the absolute best candidate? No, you should be looking at people's values. If you're looking for somebody who's making the most money, somebody who's got the most height, you need to be looking for values. What is this person's spirituality like? What are this person's family values? How does this person believe? Is this person faithful? Does this person believe in staying with one person? Okay, there are some values that you need to understand. You don't know what your values are? Google values and find out what yours are. But these people have to start looking at values and not just the superficial crap that social media is plastering all over the place. Now, I always say I'm looking for him to have morals and integrity. Yasmin, stay in that place. Morals and integrity. If that's what you're looking for, then when it comes to dating and what have you, stay there. And you look at people and judge. I say that, judge them based on their morals and integrity. But then again, remember that you must bring those same morals and integrity. And even with that, you still might or might not be compatible. You might have the same morals and not be compatible. You may have the same, because sometimes values can counteract and still be compatible. If you're an extrovert, he's an introvert, that can work together. Okay. I like family. I want to be around family. I want to have 100 kids. Well, if you both have that value, then that's great. But sometimes your values also can offset and still be compatible. Okay. Our time is way up. Okay. ChatGPT can give you some values to aspire to. Absolutely. Thank you, Wendy. The last one. Okay. Last one. The last one had a baby on the way and excluded that piece of info. After that, I realized, wow, integrity and more. Yes. Because people, I'm telling you. And here's the thing. Have standards. I'm saying this and I'm really closing. Have standards and make those standards clear. On a first date, talk about values. On a first date, yes. I just want you to know that I'm dating with a purpose. This is how I approach my wife. I said, I'm not out here just trying to, no, I'm dating with a purpose. That's it. And you will find a man if you're dating for a purpose. If you're dating if you're a food digger, not a gold digger, a food digger, you just want to tell somebody take you to a fancy restaurant. No, that's all you're going to get is somebody who's trying to hit it and quit it, smash and dash. But if you want something substantive, be someone substantive. And that goes both ways. Any age can find love. Kimberly, there's an older man wanting to date men in no, he's got a grandkid. Okay. All right, post please. All right, guys, we're done. Please post on the opening page. Let us know. Men, go to Mentoring Manhood in the app and sign up free for this community. It's free. It's $3.99. Sign up. Okay. All right, great. Somebody said I need free food too. Tell me. I'm serious. All right, guys. God bless you. It's a pleasure being with you, and I can't wait to see you guys on Thursday night. Thank you for participating. We're going to answer some more questions on Thursday. All right. God bless. We'll see you then.